Well, welcome to Breakout Trading Answered, the show where we talk about all things breakout trading. And today we're going to be talking about trading books that are not actually non-trading books for serious traders. I got the title wrong, but this is going to be a great show, I promise you. So, non-trading books for serious traders. And joining us, of course, is Mr. Breakouts himself, Thomas Nesnedal.
Thank you very much. Welcome, guys. Yes, this is going to be interesting because we traders are going to talk about non-trading books that all the traders should really read. So stay with us. I think you'll be surprised. We have some great tips for you today.
That sounds a little bit like a conflict, Thomas. Like, why would I want to read a non-trading book if I'm a trader?
Exactly.
You're going to explain it to us as we go through today?
Totally, I am. Yes, that's the point of today's episode. And
okay,
believe me, I do have some good tips.
All right. Well, let's get the slides up here and get started. I'm interested to hear what this is all about.
Right. So guys, it's not always just about the trading itself. It's also about creating the right environment for our trading journey. So it's not just always about the best tip, best indicator, best practice. It's also creating, the right mindset. It's about being in a flow. It's also about concentration, focus, efficiency, organization. And if we combine these things together with trading knowledge, with trading tips, with analysis, with things we like to do, we can become overall way more efficient. And that's what I'm going to share with you today, how to achieve way higher efficiency, less procrastination. That's a common problem, like how to get rid of procrastination, be more efficient, be more organized, get more time to focus on your trading more. And I'll share books, which I'm very sure will help you with that.
Sounds very intriguing.
So let's get to the first one.
Let's get to it. Okay.
So the first book that I would like to recommend, it's a book that I read a couple of years ago. It's called Digital Minimalism. And this really solved a pretty big problem for me. So a couple of years ago, I unfortunately was one of these guys being totally cluttered by the digital overwhelm of information and digital presence, meaning I used to check my Facebook or Instagram a few times a day. I used to spend times, on reading news and overall consuming digital media quite a lot. And I got to the point when I realized, well, it's really, it's really very very distracting. Yeah. It's depriving me of a lot of focus, a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of mental focus. And I read a lot of studies how easy it is to get addicted to social media. And then I read this book and I was totally shocked. So first of all, this book gives you a totally effective cluttering from digital life, because this book very truly addresses how, and that shocked me, how companies like Facebook are deliberately employing psychologists whose objective is to figure out how to make you deliberately heavily addicted to their platforms, which shocked me, which was like, how this was really very unethical for me. The way he presented it was pretty much shocking. And he presented a lot of arguments why we need to start with this digital minimalism. Well, let's cut to the chase. This book was extremely inspiring, and I want to tell you what happened after I finished this book. I finished this book the same day I finished this book. I completely deleted my Facebook. Completely. I never got back since then. I completely deleted my Instagram. Didn't got back since then. I reduced reading digital information to maybe 30%. And the only one I still sometimes consume is YouTube, but way less compared to I used to. So the great thing about this one is it does deliver on its promise, which is another point that I want to share with you about this book, that it really gives you easy to take tangible steps that you can very quickly implement and reduce the dependency and addiction on digital life, which very often we're not even aware of very quickly, very rapidly. it works. And believe me, once you follow these steps, your focus will increase substantially. You will all of a sudden have more time, because you realize that we have this addiction of wasting time on absolutely uninteresting with absolutely weird conversation on social media. And overall, with this less noise, greater concentration, better overall focus, I guarantee you will be able to get more real stuff done, progress with trading, and you'll have a lot of joy from getting things done and improving your trading journey. More joy than consuming the social media. So that's why I picked this book.
Wow. I haven't read this book, actually. I've got it on my list now to read, because who doesn't want more focus and concentration, right? It can help us to achieve more in our trading just by me being more focused.
Agreed.
Yeah. So your favorite part of the book?
The favorite part of the book, I already said that this book delivers on its promise. It promises you to get rid of this mental clutter, this noise, which comes from digital media and all this digital world. And it does deliver on the promise 100%. At least it did for me, but I'm pretty sure it will for others as well.
Okay. All right. So the first book, Digital Minimalism by Cal Newport. All right. Now on to number 2, which is...
Which is a book I want you to talk about a little bit, because, guys, this is a surprise. This is a book that I got as a present from Andrew. So thank you very much again, Andrew. I got it in an envelope. One day I received an envelope from Australia, which is quite a long way. And I opened it and there was this gift from Andrew, and it was a great book. Actually, my wife, she read it too. And then we recommend it to other people. So this is a good book. You know, this is called Beyond Positive Thinking. And this is not... Let me make this very clear. This is not a woo book. You know, this is not like this book promising whatever, like colors. And this is quite pragmatical, practical book, which makes you think about the way you think. And I think this is the great promise of it. It makes you think about the way you think. And that's a really, really great promise. So maybe it's your turn, Andrew, you know, to share a little bit what this book brought to you. And I know you read it many times, and why this is one of your probably favorite books.
I have actually read this many times. I think more than 5 or 6 now. I've lost count, but I'm about to start reading it again. I love this book. Every time I read it, I get some different insights into, you know, how I'm thinking and my mental state, and it's really incredible to go through this book. And as you mentioned, Thomas, I shared a copy with you, and I've sent copies to a lot of people. I've never done that for any other book, just this one. And you know, a lot of people that I've shared it with have also shared it with other people. So I think it's an incredible book, and it's well worth going over time and time again. So I'm going to do it again at the start of the new year. To, you know, it's kind of like a refresh your mind, get rid of all the junk, and get yourself focused back again on how you're thinking. Because there's a lot to, there's a lot of the way that we think impacts our lives in ways we don't really understand, or we don't even realize until you read this book and you're like, oh, that's why those things are happening, is because, you know, I'm thinking this way, and that's impacted my behavior. So I don't want to give too much away, but I highly recommend this book.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So thank you for this gift. My other point, this really helps you to reveal some thinking patterns, which might not be, you know, fully aligned with your goals and with what you want to achieve. So it helps you to really think about some subconscious behaviors and patterns and thoughts, and it will help you to, you know, give a way high level of clarity. And the important thing is, again, highly practical, and even left brain people who are normally very logical can read it easily. It is literally optimization of your brain. So in trading, we talk about optimization a lot, but we must not always just optimize our trading strategy systems, we sometimes must optimize the way we think as well. We need to optimize our mental patterns, our minds. And this is a book that will help you to optimize your brain towards better achievement and better success.
Yeah.
And yes, my favorite part, this book makes you want to read it several times. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think what else can we say about a good book? You just want to read it again and again.
Yep. I'm so glad you included this book, Thomas, because this is my favorite book. So thank you for adding it to the list. So that was Beyond Positive Thinking by Dr. Robert Anthony. Okay. That's the second book, right? So on to the third one.
So this one, so one of the employees of my hedge fund, a very smart, very, very clever guy, he was pushing me for a long time to read this book. He was like, you have to read this, you have to read this. This is essential. And it's a very old book and it's hard to find. I couldn't find it. I had to buy it. I had to buy it from a second hand. I think it's not on stock anymore. And it's called Chance. And this totally pushes the boundaries regarding the way we think about numbers. I read this book. It's a tiny book. You read it in 2 hours. You know, my brain was smashed to pieces. I was like, Jesus.
Wow.
This is so. As traders, we deal with statistics every day, with numbers every day. And then you get a book and you think you understand. You think you pretty much know what this all is about. Then you read these books and you get a totally new way of thinking about numbers. So this offers you a little bit more abstract way to think about trading because it pushes you very deeply out of the comfort zone when it comes to statistics, numbers, what you think you know about numbers and statistics. And it might not have a direct, immediate impact on the way how you trade, but it gets you think about numbers in a new way. And that's very important. I think for us traders, it's important to expose ourselves to material that kicks us a little bit out of the comfort zone and let us think differently so we can eventually come up with different solutions or ideas. This book will do it. This book will really give you a completely new perspective on trading.
Wow.
And actually, that's also my last point. So it offers powerful conceptual thoughts about new ways to think about trading because the way it presents the way how we think or should think about numbers. And there are a lot of parts that, you know, I would say are my favorite. But one of them is that, you know, the odds that you meet somebody with the same birthday as you have are higher than you might think. This is one of the things that he talks a lot about this book, that we think that things are of a very low probability, whereas the probability of these things are much higher than we think. Things like we meet a person with the same date birth, or we meet a person on a plane somewhere on the other side of the world, sitting next to us on an airplane. The probability of that is much higher than you would anticipate. And he explains exactly, the author explains exactly mathematically why and how. And it's mind-blowing, but it will push your mind towards a different way to think about numbers, which is healthy. It's a very healthy thing to do.
Interesting book. I've never heard of this one before. Sounds, I'm going to have to scour the secondhand bookshops for this one, I think. Check it out for myself. All right, so that was the third book, Chance by Amir Aczel. I butchered that, I'm sure of it. All right, book number 4.
Oh, guys, you will love this one. So I think one of the big problems we all face is how to organize our work, because there's always more to do in trading than we're able to accomplish in probably a couple of lifetimes. And this book really helped me to solve one of my biggest issues, which was a better organization of my trading projects and tasks. So I have to say it right away, I did not follow his methodology to the letter. Actually, I just got inspired by the way he thinks about organizing things and about the way he organizes things, but it helped me to create my own organization system in Notion. Thanks to the ideas, thanks to the introduction from this book. So these books, for some, it can be the fastest way to implement exactly what he says and shares in the book. For me, it didn't work that way, but it gave me a lot of foundation to build my own system. So it really improved my entire organization in my hedge fund, in my trading, even in my life. It's very practical. Once you read this book, you immediately want to start working on implementing this GDT, as it is known, trading system. There are also a lot of people on YouTube who are fan of GTD system. They share how they implemented it in Notion as well into their lives. So it's kind of a little bit like a micro movement around this book and this methodology. And I recommend reading it if you want to get some good insight or ideas how to organize your trading work better, how to make some structure, prioritization is also very important. Definitely very practical and very, very good. And again, my favorite part, one of these books that does deliver on its promise. What it promised in the title, getting things done, it will really deliver. It does deliver. So a good one.
And do you have stress-free productivity now?
I do get things done. I'm still sometimes stressed a little bit, but not as much as I used to be. But it did not resolve fully the stress part, but I definitely am way more organized, and I do get things done. That's for sure.
Yeah. Well, that's good. I think one of the the biggest challenges that we hear from traders is that there's so much work to do and there's not enough time, and they don't know what to start or what to do next. And so it sounds like this book might be potentially an answer for some of those questions. Is that right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
Cool.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, thanks, Thomas. That was book number 4. And here we go.
And the last one is a little bit different one. It's a little bit of a challenge.
Happy.
Yeah, happy. So first of all, this is a book from Darren Brown. I don't know if you know him, guys, but he's a world well-known English mentalist and mind control illusionist. He had great big shows. He had amazing shows on TV. He's very popular in the UK. He's a superstar. Just find him on YouTube. Darren Brown shows. It's amazing. Like he can pretty much. I think there was one show when he picked a person and then he conditioned that person to make a bank robbery to prove that how susceptible we all are to mental conditioning and mental control. It's all on YouTube. It's amazing. And I was super surprised when I realized when I found out that he wrote a book about happiness. And for me it was like, how comes that's out of his area? But then I realized, but maybe this guy's got something important to say, because if he knows so much about mind control, maybe he knows about how to control our minds toward happiness. And the reason why I brought this book is because, guys, seriously, if you think about it, why do we want to succeed in trading? And I think fair answer for most of us is because it gives us a sense of accomplishment, sense of achievement, sense of security, financial security. And I think all these things, sense of freedom, possibilities, and I think all these things together gives us a higher level of sense of happiness. Like if we accomplish trading, if we're good in trading, we know we're good, we can be financially independent, we can do whatever we want, our happiness will increase substantially. So in a sense, I believe that we all do trading to improve our happiness level, to being a happier person. And I had this thought, why about we take a shortcut and we go to happiness directly instead of all that hustle around, like maybe there's a shortcut. We can just, put trading a little bit aside and skip the trading and get to this happiness directly. Which, of course, we all love trading, so we would never do it. But why not to combine both these together? And this book brings a serious, very healthy balance and sobriety into your life, which I think is very important, and which I believe naturally will lead to better overall trading performance. In other sense, I believe that just reversing the priority is a better way to achieve success. So right now, the priority, most of us, we had it like, let's accomplish success in our trading and then we will be happy. And I believe that we should also experiment with the other approach. Like, what happens if we first do our best to be happy? How that will influence our trading? And I came to the conclusion that it will influence our trading super positively. And then maybe if we focus on well-being and happiness first, we very likely will be more successful in other areas, including trading. So that's why I dared to bring up this unusual book about happiness, and with the message, let's just focus on happiness. And I guarantee you, if you increase your happiness already now, it will very positively reflect in your trading. So that's also my next point. It's really, actually, we have it
Favorite
already.
part?
Yeah, no. I was about to just repeat about a shortcut. So that was the previous one. So it really is a kind of like this book, a shortcut to increase your overall happiness. And then I guarantee you will be able to move forward with your trading faster and easier. And my favorite part, again, the entire book, very well written, very easy to read. And, while you're reading it, you already have a good sense of well-being, which I think is very important, especially in nowadays world. So I would say it's great that we all love trading and are focused on trading, but I would say let's also focus on our well-being and happiness. Let's not derive it as a side effect of our success in trading. Let's focus on it as much or as equally as we do on our trading. I believe these two, if we blend them together, that could be potentially the highest optimization of our journey.
It's an interesting way to look at it. We trade to be happy, so why not just be happy and do it from the other way? It's kind of logical when you say it like that. It's like, yeah, why don't we just do that? Skip the training.
Exactly.
Cancel the show. We're done. I'm going to check out this book too. I like it.
That's funny.
All right. So that was 5 books, right? Do we have a summary here at the end, Thomas? Or we got a quote.
Whoa!
I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, we didn't have a quote for a while. So
yes.
the last one is, guys, books are the training weight of the mind, and I think most of us, we love reading and do this lifting of mind weights with books. So please, again, if you get inspired by any of the recommendations here today, pick up these books or some of them, read them. I can guarantee you all of them will bring some quality into your life and something new and inspiring, and it will improve your life and your trading as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. As I mentioned in one of the previous episodes, something that I noticed with a lot of successful traders I interviewed on Better System Trader was that they all read books, and they read a lot of books. And quite a few of those books are not on trading at all, completely different topics. So I think that like the books that we've talked about today, and also in other episodes that we've released, I think they can all really combine to help us become better mentally and better as traders as well. So I agree with this quote. Books are the training weights of the mind. Absolutely. I think books are really powerful ways to improve ourselves. So what do you think? Anyway, just put your comments in the chat if you've got some books, if you think our books are no good, or if you got some better ones, or you like to recommend ones, let us know in the chat, and we're interested to see your thoughts. And of course, please give us a thumbs up for this video as well. Hit subscribe and bell buttons to be notified when we release new content. And also, we'll have a link to a page. We've got a book page on the Better Trader Academy website. We'll have a link to that page in the description below this video. You can click there and you can go and see our other book recommendations, trading specific and non-trading specific, all in the one page. So Any closing comments, Thomas?
The only one I have, guys, happy reading.
Happy reading.
Thank you very much. Ciao.
Bye-bye.